right, we have basically before you a request from the Alabama State Board of Auctioneers to basically amend their agreement. As part of our statute and regulations on reciprocity, we enter into agreements with the other states to allow their licensees to come to Louisiana to skip the, all that situation that required non-licensees, non-reciprocals, which, in other words, they don't have to go through as much as the others do. They're on the testing, correct? And I think that's the only thing. Correct. That they skip. Now, before you, you have the proposed changes from the state of Alabama, as well as a copy of our reciprocal agreement between Alabama and Louisiana. Let me say this. We tried some 10, 12 years ago to update all of our reciprocal agreements with all the states. I thought we had changed most of them, not all of them, but the one we're still showing is one from 1984. Basically, for a lot of things that happened. So our reciprocal agreement, which is in the old-fashioned type print in your board, basically is what we've been following since then. Last week, short, the new reciprocal agreement, which is proposed by the Alabama State Board, basically puts more restrictions on their reciprocals as far as Alabama is concerned. Part 2 says the board will not require an Alabama licensed auctioneer or apprentice auctioneer to take and successfully complete the Louisiana written auctioneer examination if there is an active Alabama auctioneer license in good stand. And part of the application procedure, by the way, is to get that good standing certificate from the other state board. The purpose of this, as I understand it from their documentation, is basically to meet continuing education. Because the board does not have continuing education, this may or may not be applicable to us. However, if we start to require continuing education, then we would have to accept the Alabama continuing education credits and they would accept ours, which would make it easier for those licensees to be able to take credits from state to state, as long as they met the requirements of their state. Basically, the requirements for our state board licensees to go there were mentioned here specifically, such as they have to agree to comply with all the laws, rules, and regulations of the state of Alabama if they go there. They have to understand the same disciplinary actions as with Alabama law. It does not change anything that would happen today. Basically, the licensees from Louisiana shall follow the irrevocable consent with State Board in Alabama that serves the legal process on the reciprocal licensee arising from any auction activities of that licensee may be had by any resident of the state of Alabama by delivery of process on the State Board. They're accepting that. I don't believe that we accept that anymore. We did that a long time ago as far as people coming here. However, the number 9 does require that Alabama licensees shall follow this consent also, so that we would have to accept service on those out-of-state licensees for them, which the board had chosen some years ago not to do. Basically, that's the highlights as I saw them, and certainly you should read through to make that decision. Basically, also, go back to the apprentice things. They basically, on the apprentice auctioneer, there's specific language in here with regard to denying them. And there is some intake with other states also as far as the apprentice licenses are concerned. The only concern I had was specifically the question of the irrevocable consent, which has been removed from our statute. Because honestly, it was difficult for our board to accept service on an out-of-state auctioneer, so that someone could sue them in the state of Louisiana, and then it'd be on the board to notify that auctioneer of the service, etc. However, if we do this, we will have to accept that service.
Can we take a 1 minute break? Thank you. We're going off the record.
Well, I mean, what concerns me on the Alabama reciprocation agreement, on number one, they state that Louisiana does not have an auctioneer apprentice program equivalent to the Alabama apprentice program, and the licensee must have been licensed by Louisiana for 2 years prior to the application for reciprocity in Louisiana. That's a concern for me, because that's not what we have for them. If there's someone that's actually been an apprentice and they get a license, they can come in in Louisiana and just be a regular auctioneer.
But they have apprentice status now.
They have apprentice, they can't get that for apprentice status here.
Right.
No, they can if they're an out-of-state resident, they do not apply for our
Well,
No, but I mean, if they actually move there, that's the way I'm interpreting this. In other words, if you're in Louisiana for 2 years prior and you got your license based on an apprenticeship program, what happens if you go to Alabama, say right after the apprenticeship program, and you get your Louisiana license? It would seem to me, by reading this, that it would take 2 years in Louisiana before you could get licensed. That's the way I read it.
I think that's correct.
And we don't have that in our agreement to them.
well, here's the problem you got too now. You gotta remember, most states' apprentice programs are a lot tougher than ours. And I can tell you right now, Tennessee and Alabama are the two toughest in the country. Oh, yeah, as hard as it does.
Well, you see, I'm not-
Be recommended by 5 auctioneers.
I'm not really familiar with Alabama's apprentice program, but that's a difference that concerns me, because if you're gonna have reciprocity, you don't have it with Louisiana in that respect.
In my opinion, I think apprentices need to be taken out of both of them's agreement. They can't get a license period over there in apprentice. I think it ought to be just strictly long up licensed auctioneer that has a license, has a track record with each state.
Well,
I don't think you ought to recognize apprentices from each state, to be honest.
I think the issue is whether or not we're going to recognize their reciprocation agreement. And you do have quite a few Alabama auctioneers coming here to do individual auctions. So,
I don't have a problem with that. But the problem I got, like I stated, I don't think this should apply to apprentices in each state. I mean, our rules for apprentices are not gonna be the same as Alabama. They wouldn't qualify for an Alabama license if we gave it to them on apprenticeship program. They'd probably be denied. Like you said, up to a number of years, and then it would fly. 2 years, whatever it is. All Alabama stating is they want you to be a licensed auctioneer, a resident licensed auctioneer in the state of Louisiana, 2 years to get a reciprocal license. That's the way I'm reading it. Is that right, Adam?
Yes. In other words, you have to have been, as I read it, basically it says, if the LALB does not have an auctioneer apprenticeship program equivalent to the Alabama apprenticeship program, the licensee must have been licensed by the LALB for 2 years prior to the application for reciprocity in Alabama. So in other words, if they consider our apprentice program not equivalent, and I don't know that we have any kind of study that shows whether they made that decision or not.
I don't know what all's the deal with that apprentice program. I know I talked to some
well, like I said, we
I
don't know
talked
what
to
it
some
is.
people that
Yeah.
went through it, and they said it was very, very hard. And it's not no 1 year deal.
We just don't have the knowledge as
They
to
never
what
did
it
say how long it was. I take it it's 2 or 3 years long. You got it.
You have a comment?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, in regards to the apprenticeship program, regardless of what it is, once a licensee in our state has passed the exam and has been recognized as a licensee of the state of Louisiana, the apprenticeship program is out. doesn't matter how long he was an apprentice, once he receives that license, Alabama should then comply to Louisiana statutes as to the reciprocal agreement, is what Ms. Jacobs was alluding to, that it shouldn't be no difference in that particular statute, in application to that particular application. You know, and I think that's put more stringent on Louisiana auctioneers to have to come up when we are letting them, we don't require it of them, and they want that of us. I think that's not fair game. Reciprocal agreements need to be, you know, across the board, with
You know,
what we have and what they have.
But I would like to make a motion that Chairman Warren talk to the chairman of Alabama about that issue. I mean, and try to get that cleared up before we enter into that agreement.
How many apprentices do we have now, Sam?
3 active,
3 active. How many auctioneers?
over 400.
I'm not gonna be licensed in Alabama, so I
I mean,
really
it's
can't.
less than a tenth.
But I mean, I think for you, Mike, you're young enough to do it.
We got.
You're young enough to do it. I'm too old to do it. So,
Jacob's in the auction too, he wouldn't be denied.
well, I know, but I would like to see him maybe talk to the chairman in Alabama, see if we can get that part
Who wants to
removed.
second that motion?
We have a second on my motion?
I'll second. Me calling the,
Yes, to see if we can get that part removed.
All those in favor? Any opposition? Any further discussion? That motion will pass. Now, do we need a motion to table this until that?
I would like to make a motion
Conversation.
that, right,
March meeting.
right, exactly. I'll make a motion to table it to March 8th.
Motion, do I get a second? All those in favor? Any further discussion? Any opposition? Passes.
Have there been any
Chair.
calls, have there been
Are
any
you all
calls?
licensed in Alabama? I thought y'all were licensed.
My dad is.
That's what I thought he was. Okay.
Just so you know, the apprenticeship program in Alabama is 24 months.
It is
Ours
24
12
months.
Yeah, so I think that's where that 2 years is.
Jeff's father was licensed in Alabama.
And just touch on that real quick. Any questions that you guys want to ask?
I would like to take that out of the agreement, the reciprocal agreement.
Well, we do that, then they can feel like it's 4 hours.
Why does he think he's superior to us?
Because that's all,
Maybe
like, their education.
I'm asking that. Because more of them get licensed down here than we get licensed up in Alabama.
Or we can have Darlene do it.
Well, I don't think he'd like my tone of my voice.
That's part of the,
Whereas Chairman Warren has a better, more sweeter tone. And he's young enough that he may apply. I'm too old to apply for that.
Well, he'll be granted a license, man, automatically, he's been in school.
Well,
That's not, okay.
that's a good